Live from NPR News, I'm Giles Snyder. Texas is warming up and power is coming back on, but millions are facing disruptions in water service in the aftermath of this week's unusually harsh winter weather. From Dallas, Brett Jaspers of member station KERA reports.
Laura Garcia of West Fort Worth has water at her home, but at midday Friday, her daughter and baby granddaughter did not.
I was trying to hunt for water because she's down her one last gallon of water for the baby. So I'm trying to find some water for both of us, but mainly I'm just trying to get it for her. As long as I know she's okay. She doesn't have no water still at her complex at all, so she's completely out.
Garcia later got a case of bottled water at a pop-up distribution site. People are losing water service due to burst pipes and water main breaks. Others are under boil water notices until water pressure returns and systems can be checked for contamination. I'm Brett Jaspers in Dallas.
President Biden says he hopes to travel to Texas next week as long as his presence does not distract from the winter storm recovery. The weather left Texas and other southern states struggling with power and water issues. The president expected to soon declare a major disaster in Texas. Meanwhile, Texas lawmakers have scheduled hearings for next week with managers of the state's power grid operator. To Russia now, a Moscow court has rejected an appeal of the sentencing of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Charles Maines is in Moscow.
The court shaved 6 weeks off Navalny's prison time, but upheld an earlier decision that Navalny had failed to meet his parole requirements stemming from a suspended sentence he received back in 2014. Yet the alleged violations occurred after the opposition politician was evacuated to Germany following his poisoning by a military-grade nerve agent. Navalny has accused Russia's security services of carrying out the attack, a charge the Kremlin denies. Navalny was arrested upon his return to Russia last month, sparking mass protests and detentions. The U.S. and European allies have called for Navalny's release, as did the European Court of Human Rights. The Kremlin has rejected those demands as interference in Russia's internal affairs. For NPR News, I'm Charles Maines in Moscow.
The new head of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, tells the BBC wealthy countries must donate COVID-19 vaccines to poorer countries immediately or risk the consequences. He said it's essential that poorer countries receive the drugs now rather than waiting until there's a surplus.
What we need to make sure is that having created the COVAX facility, countries are not then in a bid to serve all their nationals at once, perhaps bidding away the scarce supplies of vaccines from poorer countries or from the COVAX facility, so that we can have a more equitable distribution.
And you're listening to NPR News. Security forces in Myanmar's second largest city stepping up pressure against protesters opposed to the military coup. In Mandalay, they used water cannons today. They also fired tear gas and rubber bullets. Several protesters are reported injured, and local media reports 2 have died. The demonstrators are demanding an end to military rule and the release of elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Migrants from Central America still heading to the United States despite recent caravans dissolving. The Mexican government says migrants are being encouraged to make the journey by information on social media and faith in the Biden administration while using children to facilitate their transit. Rodrigo Cervantes of member station KJZZ reports.
Mexico's National Migration Institute says nearly 1,200 migrants have been detained since the end of January on trains running northward. According to the institute, 30% of the detained migrants are underage. The authorities claim many adult migrants are traveling with kids since Mexico offers more support to migrant families than to individuals. The institute reports most of the migrants being detained say they feel encouraged by the hopes of a new immigration policy in the United States. The Mexican government also says many migrants are using social media platforms, particularly Facebook, to share advice on ways to cross the border. For NPR News, I'm Rodrigo Cervantes in Mexico City.
The Air Force says 2 pilots were killed when a trainer jet crashed near an airport in Alabama. The jet crashed late yesterday during a training mission. It was assigned to the 14th Flying Training Wing at Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi. A cause of the crash remains unclear. I'm Giles Snyder. This is NPR News.
Support for NPR and the following message come from Casper, where it's never been easier to reset your rest. Shop the President's Day sale and enjoy up to 15% off your bedroom essentials at Casper.com. Exclusions may apply. See Casper.com/promo for details and end date.
to forget. I say that you're mine, but you ain't mine yet. We see our whole lives in pictures and text. Maybe that is why we don't see the end. I don't like getting caught in emotions. Most times we end up broken. Sometimes it's better if you don't. As far as I know, we're heading for a spiral and calling it the high road, never looking down. As far as I know, we're living off the high notes, skipping all the milestones. It's feeling good for now, as far as feelings go. As far as feelings go. As far as feelings go. I heard all the time and never slow down. I don't show that side, it's better for now. And I'll relive the times we spent in the cloud. You'll forgive the times that I let you down. I don't like getting caught in emotions. Most times we end up broken. Sometimes it's better if you don't. As far as I know, we're heading for a spiral and calling it the high road, never looking down. As far as I know, we're living off the high notes, skipping all the milestones. It's feeling good for now, as far as feelings go. As far as feelings go. As far as feelings go. We may never know. We may never know. We may never know. As far as feelings go. We may never know. We may never know. We may never know. As far as feelings go. We may never know. We may never know. We may never know. As far as feelings go. We may never know. We may never know. We may never know. As far as I know, we're heading for a spiral and calling it the high road, never looking down. As far as I know, we're living off the high notes, skipping all the milestones. It's feeling good for now, as far as feelings go. 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 As far as feelings go.
This message comes from NPR sponsor CarMax, where the best way to buy a car is your way. Choose from over 50,000 CarMax certified vehicles at CarMax.com and buy online or in store with curbside pickup and home delivery in select markets. Learn more at CarMax.com.
Hey, y'all, you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR. Sam Sanders here. And before we start the show, want to say I hope everyone in Texas and elsewhere experiencing the power outages and winter weather is doing okay and surviving the best they can. Some of y'all might know I am from San Antonio, Texas, and a lot of you have asked. My family and friends down there, they're doing okay. Also, my Aunt Betty, who is experiencing winter weather in a different part of the country, she's all right too. And as of this past week, she is fully vaccinated against the coronavirus. So today we're going to talk more about that, the vaccine, and answer some of y'all's questions about how it all works. To start, we're going to hear my Aunt Betty's vaccine story. Betty, hi.
Hi, Sam.
How are you?
I am, for a snowy day in Delaware, I'm very well.
You, Aunt Betty, are fully vaccinated against coronavirus. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Yes, I am. Thank God for that. I got my first shot about a month ago and my second shot Monday of this week.
Okay. And then describe the scene for you getting the shots. How'd you do it?
Well, the first shot was at the DMV, and it was just like a mad genius had set it up because it worked like clockwork. So you kind of drove up and they routed you to a parking area. Then they would just come through and send you to another parking area. And then when you moved again, you went through a checkpoint where they took your paperwork and checked your ID and asked you a few questions about your health. The next stop was a shot. So I rolled my window down and got a shot and kept rolling. They did ask me to go to another holding area for 15 minutes where medical staff just walked around to see if you were okay.
And you were okay?
Oh, yeah, it was fine.
Okay. What advice would you give for people who haven't gotten the vaccine yet and may soon be able to do it?
Do it. It's worth it. I mean, save your life or save yourself from suffering. I know people who've died from it. And
you know a few folks that have died from it, yeah.
I do, yeah. They suffered greatly before they died. So I don't wish that on people.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the details that you haven't said yet about your vaccine story is that you heard about how to get it, where to get it from Zoom Church. Is that what you told me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I haven't gone back to church yet, so I'm still enjoying services online. And so my pastor is very civic minded, and so he talked about this, and I was, as soon as the service was over, I was like at the house, keys in hand, heading to the DMV to get my shot. Wow. So I wouldn't have known about it if I hadn't been online listening to him.
You know what the moral of this story is, Betty?
What is the moral of the story?
I need to go to church.
You didn't need a story to tell you that.
Oh, we got to go to break. You're fading.
I can tell you anything. You are gonna